Hello, everybody. My name is Nzinga Imani, and I'm here today with Ray Holiday.
Hey.
And Janae Bolden.
What's up?
And this is All Right, So Boom, the podcast where we talk to celebrity guests about their journey in the industry. And today our celebrity guest is Tameka Foster Raymond. How you doing?
Hey, girl.
Welcome.
Hi, friend. Welcome. I know you two know each other. You guys want to give a little backstory for us?
Lord. Who wants to tell the story?
Uh-oh.
You. I want to hear your version.
Oh, my God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
That's
Well, as you guys know, I've been working with Bossip.com since 2009, and that encompasses part of Tameka's marriage to a certain celebrity. So she was in the headlines quite a bit, which meant that I had to write about her quite a bit. And I don't know where she got my phone. Oh, wait, we met at a Super Bowl party.
Maybe.
We met at a Super Bowl party.
I was looking for her for a long time. She was on the hit list.
Wow. No, we had a great time. We were at a Super Bowl party. This is, people when they meet me typically are like, wow, you're not what I would expect from a gossip blogger. And we had a great time, exchanged phone numbers, and the
That's
next
what
thing
you
you
call
know,
a classic thumb thug. The ones that's behind the curtain.
Whoa.
She was thumb thugging back
Oh,
then.
you was thumb.
I love it, but I love
karma,
her.
I accept it. Karma, it comes back around. At times you have to pay. These are the consequences of the occupation. What can I say?
So y'all met at the Super Bowl.
We met at a Super Bowl party in like 2009, January 2009 in Miami. And then headlines started happening and news was occurring. And as a journalist, I had to document the news that was happening. However, this person, Tameka, had my phone number and she would call me as soon as the byline hits. And she would say, girl, what is you doing?
I love that.
Wow.
Call
Take
them out.
that shit
And
down.
I would sit
That's
on the
not
phone.
what happened.
Oh, wow.
I would be on the phone like, yes, Tameka, listen, it's business. It's not personal.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, we haven't said anything. We haven't called you out your name. I used this beautiful picture of you. And she'd be like, can you use the other picture at least?
I'd be like, first of all, quit making me look like a man. They called me a man first of all, they called me a man for 5 years.
It was not me.
And I kept giving birth to kids, so it didn't make sense. It just wouldn't make it make sense. I was like, well, I'm pregnant again. How am I a man? So I just, it was a mess. But we got over it. We did. We did a road trip since then.
Oh,
Remember
wow.
Okay.
from the wedding?
If you want to call it a road trip, I would call it being taken hostage by Tameka, but
I love that.
Please explain.
No, we went to a wedding. We went to a friend's wedding.
yeah.
And we
Shout out to Marv.
Oh, to Marv, yep. And we rode. Were we in Portland? Or?
We're in Oregon, but
Oregon.
we weren't in Portland. We were like an hour outside of Portland. My brother lives in Seattle. I had planned to drive to Seattle because my flight wasn't leaving till the next day. And Tameka's like, come get me, take me to the airport. And she caught me. You know when you're like going somewhere and somebody catches you right as you're about to get on the highway?
Yes.
And literally, if she had caught me 5 minutes later, I would have been like, girl, I'm gone. I'm not even, I'm like halfway to Portland now.
Right.
I was literally 5 minutes away from her
It was like a
hotel.
2-hour Uber ride.
Right.
It was like a 2-hour Uber
Yeah.
ride. And I was like, or I can ride with Janae.
And not to mention, you owed her one.
I mean,
Well,
or five.
Oh, who? Because
I still need some rides.
Right. She's cashing in.
I think I need something from the ride because that was a traumatic ride.
It was?
Girl, you took me hostage. She wanted some sneakers. We
I love
we had
this.
to, she
Oh,
was
we
like,
did
my
go to-
flight's not till 4. It's noon. We can go shopping.
I love that.
Have you ever been shopping with a stylist before?
Yes, that
That shit is a sport,
sounds.
okay?
It is. Yes.
Okay.
Well,
I
I'll
would
take
love
it up.
that.
If you ever want to do another road trip, take somebody
Gang.
shopping. I am
All
It
down.
makes it fun. It breaks it
I'll
up.
pass you the keys. You can take my car and everything.
Right.
I do not need to be involved in another road trip with Tameka.
Well, that's your crazy celebrity story, but I would love
exactly.
to know
Right.
is your crazy celebrity story? What is an experience that you've had in this entertainment world that you feel like is something people would just not guess, something off the wall, something we've never heard before?
This is how my Wendy Williams debacle started.
Oh,
This is exactly what she
let's
asked
go.
me. And when I didn't give the kind of answer that she wanted, she went on a tirade about me and kicked me out the studio. So anyway,
Wow.
let me give you my crazy celebrity story. I met Oprah Winfrey for the first time it was after Luther Vandross passed, and I had 2 clients on the show at the same time. It was Patti LaBelle and Usher. They both were performing a tribute to Luther, and Patti was like, "Hey, I need to fly you to Chicago." You know, da da da. That's when she was filming in Chicago, and I wrote a letter to Oprah on the flight because I was like obsessed. That was my girl, and so I wrote this letter, and I'm like, I just love you. I'm a big fan. I aspire to be, just like you. I want to be an interviewer and blah, 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 host. And I met her. And as soon as I handed her the letter, waterworks happened. I just started bawling, crying. And Patti LaBelle looked and said, "This bitch is a thug. I cannot believe she's crying right now." And I was so embarrassed. I am a thug. It's true.
It's that Oakland, that Bay Area
town business. A town business.
I love that.
But no, it was great though. I met her and she wrote me back.
I noticed that in your book.
It's in my book. She wrote me back, and that's the letter that she's responding to.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's in my book.
I would love to know what this letter consists of that made you just open up and have waterworks in front of Oprah.
Just telling her that the tears weren't because of the letter. The tears were because she was someone I kind of idolized. This is when the Oprah Winfrey Show had started.
Got it.
It began in Chicago all those years ago, and I used to watch it faithfully, and I just thought she was just goals. It was like she's a black journalist. She has her own show. She can interview people about whatever she wants. I just looked up to her so much. So she was like a celebrity to me. I didn't care about like artists and singers and stuff.
Yeah.
I cared about Oprah. That was my
Oprah definitely has that effect.
Yeah.
on
She
you.
does.
She
Oprah
dropped,
effect.
I still haven't
Was
met
it
her,
Green?
so.
Yeah,
Oh,
no.
I did.
Yeah.
Greenleaf. When Greenleaf is not on, right? They had 6 seasons and then
Oh,
they're
that
done.
was an amazing
but
show,
the
yeah.
first season, Oprah actually did a press run with them.
Oh, I would imagine.
And I got the invite and it said brunch with Oprah. And I hit up, shout out to Saptosa. I hit up Saptosa and I'm like, listen, I need to meet Oprah. Like, seriously. She was like, we're going to figure it out. So we get there, and the brunch happens, and then they just rush us into the auditorium. So Saptosa was like, look out for me. I'm going to be by the door. So she texted me, and she said, sit in the back, and when Oprah goes out the side door, I'm going to let you know. So I go and sit in the back. Now, I never sit in the back, so all of my journalist friends know something is up. So I sit in the back. They like, Ray, we saved the seat for you. I'm like, I'm good. They like, this nigga about to meet
Set up.
Oprah.
Right.
Set up.
So now Saptosa is literally like, I need you out there. 5 minutes, she's coming. So I go out there. When I get up, all the journalists that were by me, they all go up at the same time, so we all get outside. So I said, listen, y'all, this is my moment. I'm willing to share it with y'all. But when Oprah comes out, I got first dibs.
Don't
And they
talk to her.
Okay,
I know
copy
that's,
that.
I know that's right.
What? She came out and I've never been so on it. Like, she came out and first of all, her bodyguard was on. He getting
he
paid
gonna
the
take
big
you
bucks
down.
to get you out. He came. Oprah said, he's all right. He came.
Oh.
She smelled like heaven.
Oh,
it was
wow.
amazing.
definitely
I got
smelled
like
like
my good 2 minutes in, and it was every man for themselves. I know a few people got shot. Oh, Allie is gonna kill me because Allie got oh my God, Allie got.
She missed her moment
She
because.
missed her moment.
Oh wow.
I don't. Maybe I said.
I know she smelled like money.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't heaven. That was cash.
Yes.
She smelled like a good old bank vault.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah, so that was my celebrity moment, and I've met her since. I saw her at Tyler Perry's house. When he did his grand opening that long time ago. I was pregnant. I have a picture from that. But I still aspire to like interview with her one day. Super Soul Sunday.
Absolutely.
Claim it, manifestation. Let's get it. Yes.
Well, that was a beautiful story. But I feel like this Wendy Williams story is the crazy story that I'm looking for. So
I forgot about that.
let's get back to that.
It's a crazy story, in fact, because I went to a party. It was a party that they had at the Gansevoort Hotel in New York, and it was during Fashion Week. And I was shopping for a client, and someone said, "Hey, come by. We're having this big party at the Gansevoort." Pat Fields, it was her party. And so Wendy is walking out as I'm walking in. And one of my contacts at a showroom said, "Oh, that's Wendy Williams. Do you know Wendy?" I said, "No." So we meet right at the doorway. And they're like, "This is celebrity stylist. She works with Toni Braxton. She works with Usher. She works with this one and Patti LaBelle, blah, blah, blah." And so Wendy said, "Oh, would you like to come on my show? We could talk about your business." And so I'm thinking, I get to do New York radio for the first time. I had never done New York radio.
Right.
I didn't even listen to New York radio.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, that would be cool. I get to go on the radio in New York. So she was like, yes, I'm going to have my producers call you. And so I give my number to her husband at the time, Kevin. And they called me and they said, you know, Wendy said you're coming on tomorrow morning. If you're available, you have to be at the studio. I think at like 6 in the morning, it was dark. And I was so excited. And because I was thinking to myself, I'm calling my family like, if you can hear Wendy Williams, I'm going to be on. I didn't realize that she was a shock jock and that she was super salacious.
Got it.
I just thought she was a radio. I'd heard of her, but I didn't know her style.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know her style.
Yeah.
I learned. You're going to learn today.
On the spot.
I learned. So I get there, and I'm in the green room. I'm all nervous. They're like, you want anything to drink? I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm shaking a little bit like, dang, I'm doing radio. And so I get in, and so as soon as I sit down, she's like, hey, so how are you this morning? Yeah, this is Celebrity. So she gave me a great introduction. Celebrity stylist. She works with, and she went down my resume list. I was like, all right, I'm winning. I'm about to blow up.
Right.
I thought this was going to be amazing. Yeah. First question is, so your clients, is such and such gay? And does da-da-da speak to their mother?
Oh, wow.
And did Tony Braxton blah, blah, blah? I was like, my face was like, oh shit, she ambushed me with questions that were none of my business, above my pay grade.
Wow.
And things that even if I did know the answers, I wasn't prepared to answer.
Right.
These were my current clients.
Right.
So like, how you gonna ask me about my clients?
Right.
Oh my God.
So I was just sitting there trying to figure out how to answer it. And Charlemagne's looking at me, they
Oh my
gunning me
God.
down.
No.
And
Early
this
days
is
of
back in those
Charlemagne.
days.
Right.
Shout out to Charlemagne, that's my buddy. So, but yeah, so I'm sitting there nervously trying to answer. And I was like, hey, I didn't come here to talk about, you know. I thought she was going to ask me things like, have you ever had a nip slip? Or, you know, a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah. Right.
She went
Who was
in.
your most difficult client?
Yeah.
You know, something like,
Look, you
Those
can still
questions.
tell us because we want to know who had a
I don't even remember. That
Okay.
stuff is so behind me. But seriously, she started asking questions that were so personal and so like crazy questions about like their personal lives. And I was like, first of all, I'm from Oakland. I don't answer stuff like that.
Right.
Snitches get stitches.
Period.
No.
Right.
So, you know, I'm not that kind of person. So she kicked me out on air.
On air?
Oh, she was like, she can find the door. She can exit stage left. And she talked about me for 5 years after that.
Wow.
So then once I started dating my former husband, that was just open season. Like, oh, he's marrying her, huh?
Yeah.
She's the gold digger, blah, blah, blah. And then Bossip would say, did I hear a code word? Gold digger? Tick, 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 tick. And Janae's over there. Tick, 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 tick. I heard she's a man. And so I hated everybody. I hated everybody.
Got it.
So so I was just mad, but I understand, the name of the
understand how it
game.
goes, right.
Now I know how it works.
Yeah.
Got it.
But I didn't know. I was green. I came into it just in love and goofy.
Got it.
I was game goofy.
We all been there.
Yeah.
Game goofy.
I'm gonna say you said you came into the game green, but you were in the game for a while. I mean, you're
I'm
the
behind the
You're right.
scenes.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
And that's-
behind the
Yeah,
camera with a
yeah.
steamer and a lint brush. I
But
know.
we still
Lint
want to
roller.
hear.
I'm about to say,
we
that's
still
a
want to
beautiful
hear
thing.
about that. This is actually your all right, so boom moment. We would
Right.
love to hear how you got. Who
you
gave
got
you your
started.
break as a stylist?
All right, so boom. Here's how I got started. My first job, you guys will laugh. I lived in LA. I was going to the school for Fashion Institute for design and merchandising. My idea was to become a merchandise marketing person who was a buyer. So the goal was to become a buyer for major department stores like Federated, Saks, Neiman, anybody. That was what I was in school for. A friend worked for Biv 10 Records. That's Michael Bivens.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike and
Shout out
Todd.
to Mike.
So Todd Rusaw was his A&R, and they had a new group coming out called Subway. And then they had a
Those
girls.
little games we play?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my first video.
Wow.
That's the first.
Wait. Girls
my
were in
first
it,
job.
right? It was
702. And so the idea was, you have all this style and you have this just flavor. Your natural is your thing.
Right.
Make them look like that. And I was like, what does that mean? But dress them like how you do. Give them your swag. They wasn't swag then. I don't know what it was called back then. But make them fly like that. So Todd came to me and said, give them that. Give them that. Whatever that is you
wow.
got. But what I realized is you can't sell that.
No, you can't.
It's
Yeah.
a thing.
It's
It's,
a
Yeah.
thing.
it's
Right.
not style. You can't put it on somebody and say,
No.
be like me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the time I tried.
Right.
So that was my first group and first video.
That was your first
This
video.
little game we play.
Would you
go
consider that your
hide.
biggest break? What was your biggest break?
I was in an elevator This is your elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch.
Always have it ready.
Period.
I'm on the elevator. I'm holding a bunch of garment bags on both arms and holding shopping bags, everything, rushing to a shoot on the top floor of the hotel. I'm at it's now the London, I believe.
Oh, I love in LA?
Yeah.
That's my favorite hotel.
So I'm on the elevator. So a hand comes in and they stop the elevator from closing. On walks Lauryn Hill and her security and everybody.
Oh,
and
wow.
I freaked out again. It's like
Of
my
course.
Oprah moment.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, this is during Killing Me Softly.
Yeah.
This is big Lauren. This is Lauren,
Love that
yeah,
era.
heavy Fuji's days.
God, right
So
before the miseducation.
so I'm holding all my stuff and I dig in my pocket and I pull out a card and I'm like, this is it. That's Lauryn
Yeah.
Hill. That's Lauren. So I'm like, Lauren, Miss Hill, I love your music. You are the dopest, because she was the dopest thing since sliced bread back then.
Absolutely.
So I handed her card. I said, if your stylist ever drops the ball, if you ever need anything, socks, shoes, earrings. I looked down. We're on the same sandals.
Oh, wow.
We
Oh,
both
wow.
they were the little brown Steve Madden wraparound. I'll never forget the shoes.
I remember
We
when
had
she used to wear those.
we had on those Steve Madden little wraparound wedge. Chunky heel sandals, and we had stacks of bangles. And I said, see, we have the same. I thought we have the same shoes on. I said, if you ever need anything, I got you. And I thought, that was just a shot in the dark.
Right.
Well, the next day, I got a call from her assistant, Miriam. Ma'am said, hey, we have a big issue. VMAs are tonight. Lauren needs something. The clothes didn't come. The stylist missed FedEx. Whatever happened. And that was it. I picked up the ball and dribbled that thing.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
They dropped the ball. It saved my life. It changed my life.
Yeah.
Lauren became my client. I did, of course, the Fugees. I did Ready or Not, Here I Come. I did that video. I did lots of videos. But then when she did Miseducation, I went to Jamaica. We shot that.
Yeah.
So I did the cover and all the videos.
It's such an iconic look,
X
too.
Factor.
Yeah.
Like, that's a legendary look.
Doo-wop. That's all me. That's all me.
Love
It was a beautiful time in my life. So I worked with Lauren for like a decade. So I'd say that was a beautiful, beautiful experience working with her. And I learned a lot from Lauren. Lauren is a genius.
I
So,
love it. What do you
Yeah.
think was one of the biggest lessons you learned from
From
her? Lauren.
attention to detail. No matter what she's wearing now, I don't style her now. She's still very detail oriented. You have to look at how things coordinate and how her mind is really
True.
artistic. So yeah, attention to detail. I think I got. I think she made me see that, and she was a young teacher for me. She's younger than I am, but Lauren is brilliant.
Old soul, I feel like. She's always been that person. You just feel like she has it figured out. She's got
She's got her mind.
She knows
is-
herself.
Yeah.
Though.
She knows what she
Exactly.
wants. She knows. Now, if I could encourage her to let me do like a reboot, like this is 25th anniversary of
yeah.
our, so this is a big time for kind of us, I would
Right.
say.
Yeah.
But if she would let me do like one of my old iconic looks,
I would love that too.
can we go
because-
back to the legs? Because
Right.
she
Yes.
got legs for
Yeah,
days.
I would love that because
Ah.
her style in recent years is very eclectic. You know, it might be a bathrobe over a print
I'm hanging
or something like that.
I'll call y'all back.
I'm about to say, don't leave. Don't
I ain't gonna- I'm gone. Y'all not about to win ambush me right now. I ain't
We
doing
will
that.
not, because there is
Team
no Lauren Hill
Lauren,
with you.
Lauren,
I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Lauren.
She can do no wrong in my book, so I'm
no,
there.
I do love Lauren, but I just had to. I had to do it because
Look, she said not today.
I had to.
And moving on before we get, because I know she can fight, and I don't want.
Right now?
Well, I don't think that's
Are you serious?
gospel.
Oh, kumbaya. Okay. I'm just saying there have been some eclectic looks.
That's called a setup. She,
Right.
you know what? But guess what? I think she's wearing like obviously all designer.
It's all designer.
It's probably all designer.
Versace.
But and this is where now we do differ.
right.
Yeah.
I am not into designer.
Got it.
I'm a style. I'm really
Wait,
a
are
stylist.
you sure you're not?
It's all about the
it's-
touches. You gotta
yeah.
have the touches in
It's a
there.
little
Okay.
bit of this and a little
All
bit
right,
of
with
that.
there.
Don't
their
blame me
style.
for
Fair
nice
enough.
gifts.
Well, this is true.
No,
This is
I
true.
love what you got going on.
No,
your
I wear.
arm, for
I
sure.
no. Let me make this the distinction.
Got
I
it.
wear designer, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I'm not blind. I love it. But that's not what I don't go look for it.
It
I don't.
doesn't make you
It
when
doesn't
people
make you.
wear all
That's
head to
not
toe
the-
labels.
I
Cool.
don't walk into a store looking for what does Gucci have.
Got it.
Right.
You know,
Got
what's
it.
the new
Yeah.
da da da? You know, I'm not into the brands of it. If it's nice,
It's nice.
It's nice.
yeah, it's about what looks good, what's gonna make me feel good, what's sexy. I dress more for men than women. I think that the majority of women wear designer because they're dressing for each other. They are, because they're trying to compete. It's a competition.
Yeah, gotcha.
So they want to have on the labels, and I got to have the new Givenchy boot, and I have to have the Balenciaga da-da-da. But it's for each other. It's for each other. It's because men don't care.
I will say this. I would love to hear more about how you dress for men, because I feel like you have always kept a good one with you. You know what I mean?
Well,
they always wife you up. They know that. So I'm just going to say this.
Husbands,
In terms
plural.
of dressing for men, what does that mean to you?
I think dressing for men, it's hard to describe it, but I understand what it is, obviously. I think you have to be comfortable enough that they can take you to a game. You got to be, you have to be casual enough where you can kind of be versatile. Like, I can wear heels with this, but I can go throw on some sneakers and watch the game tonight, which I plan to do, actually. Nice. So, you know what I mean? You have to do that. I think it's got to be a little sexy and I got a little tomboy sexy thing all the time, I didn't realize that until someone pointed it out to me, and I was like, that's what it is. That's kind of my thing. I love suits. I like men's suits. But then I'm going to wear them with a silky and the lingerie is going to be doing what it's supposed to do at all times.
Yes.
So I dress for men. I think I dress more to appeal to men, is what I should say.
Tameka, coming into the business as a stylist and then ending up in front of the camera, I'm sure there had to be some growing pains, and I know being an entrepreneur and a reality star comes with that as well. So what was that transition like, and what things were you surprised? Like, I'm sure you felt, I'm a professional in this, I know how to present myself, but then people still are going to come and attack.
I don't look at myself as any sort of a celebrity, and that's the hardest part for me, is realizing that people know who I am, and I am, I guess, somewhat of a celebrity, right? Yeah. But I'm so regular and down to earth. Like, I will just eat fast food and do whatever. I live very regular. I'm very regular in that way. The growing pains is just kind of adjusting to that part, that new normal of, having to kind of pay attention to how I look when I go outside. Because usually you just throw on anything. I'm on a scarf and just run to the grocery store. Now I'm running to everybody I know when I do that.
Absolutely.
I'm like, okay, that wasn't a good idea. You got to kind of, put things together a little better. I think that's probably one of the hardest parts.
Reality TV is not as easy as it looks, right? You go from being surrounded by cameras every single day. It's like a complete invasion of privacy that you actually signed up for, right?
I just did it again, too.
Right. So there is no real preparing for it. Now that you're about to go into it again, right? What is the most valuable lesson you've learned from the first go around?
Well, what I do realize, and I want the world to realize when they watch reality television, every episode cannot be everyone singing Kumbaya the whole time and holding hands.
That's a fact.
So you have to be a little edgy. You got to say something. You got to kick it off.
Right.
So
if you want people to watch.
I mean, you can't just be up there, hey, girl, you look cute. Well, you look cute.
Right.
I like your hair. Well, I like your hair.
Right.
Who's going to watch 9 episodes of that?
Right.
You're going to be like, okay, I can watch Instagram.
Agree. Oh, well, yes.
I would love to see some women just compliment each other
feel
and
like
talking
that-
good about each
no,
other.
I mean,
That could be
For
a
30
YouTube
minutes?
series, though.
Yeah.
Oh, child.
No, you look
It
like, I
better
like
be
your
3
hair.
minutes because we are not giving you your bucks for
We
that.
just have to get creative.
Right.
Have
We're
to get
not.
creative.
Like,
It's called.
I'm like 30 minutes
I mean,
of that?
I want that to happen, and I'd love to see it, of course, personally.
But
But I know in the business sense of things,
Correct.
a network is not going to get behind something, and you guys are just kumbayaing the whole time. I don't believe on any fighting on any level. I don't wear anything that I can fight in.
Got
I'm
it.
telling you that now.
I know that's right.
I'm not trying to fight in nothing. I'm walking away. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I will call the police on you, girl.
Absolutely.
In real life.
She said, we don't
Yes.
snitch, but we will call the police.
Oh, yeah.
Even if you
Two
throw
different
me
things.
off.
No, I am calling the law enforcement.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Do you see
didn't.
this face?
Hello.
Did you see that?
We're not messing with this.
I'm like, did you see this coat?
Maker.
Right.
You see this coat?
Did you see this coat? Like, you about to argue. Yeah, no. So I'm hoping that, it doesn't turn into that. But you will probably have moments where something gets set off because I am probably a little mouthy.
Got it.
And I do speak my mind, and I don't have a fake bone in my body.
You sure don't.
I don't have a fake. I'm gonna keep it 1,000,
You do.
and that's not always received well. So
That's true.
we'll
You
see how it
just
goes.
wrote it all down in a book. How was the response been to that?
My book is called "Here I Stand in a Beautiful State."
Got
And it's just about standing through all the opposition and things I've been through. You know, I have, lost my mom. I've been through 2 divorces. I've lost clients. I lost my son, most importantly.
Yeah.
So I have really been through a lot, but I'm still standing.
Yeah.
Or I'm sitting right now. but,
Right.
Right.
You got it. You got it.
I'm still able to get out of bed.
Yes.
And live to see another day and, take it one day at a time. It's not, any of it's easy, but I remain in a beautiful state. That means that my mindset, you have 2 states of being. You can either suffer
Right.
or you can be in a beautiful state.
Correct.
So when things happen to you, you have to kind of, you take a minute to deal with it. Like, man, I got a flat.
Yeah.
Right.
You say it and you move on.
And you move on.
Don't call 10 people about the flat. That's
Right.
not going to
Yeah.
fix
Right.
the flat.
Right.
Let's start being solution-based. Let's get it done. Like, okay, we got a flat. And that could be God's way of slowing you down
That is true.
from getting to a collision up the street.
That's true.
You might have needed that flat.
It's very true.
Remember that movie Crash?
Right.
And everything slowed you down
Right.
from
Crash
different.
was amazing.
A lot of people don't know, people on the outside looking in don't know what a beautiful person you are. And even for us to say, we might have had our ups and downs, but like Tameka is someone who, if she knows you and she likes you, there were times where she's been like, come over, so I just want to celebrate you and thank you for coming on. It's been great. I'm so glad we were able to do this together.
So fun. You guys are going to be great.
Thank
Congratulations.
that.
This
We
is dope.
appreciate that.
I hate that y'all compete with my podcast, but it's okay. It's all good.
There is enough
Well, there is
Here I
enough
stand
room for
podcast.
us.
Don't get it twisted.
Right.
There's enough brownies for all of us.
There
and-
is definitely enough
There's
room
enough
for all of
room.
us.
People are starting to listen more.
Absolutely.
We need content.
Yeah, we do.
need good content.
Yep.
Let's
Right.
get it.
Good,
Yep,
positive.
yep.
You're doing so many things. I mean, is there any progress on your petition for Lake Lanier? I know someone recently passed, I think about a week ago, from a jet ski accident.
again.
And I know that you're an advocate for that. Is there any
I'm fighting
progress?
it. Well, you know what? I always say I'm fighting against Lake Lanier, but I think I'm fighting for it because it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
We're not getting rid of Lake Lanier.
Clearly.
It's a major source of water in Georgia. It's also hydroelectricity, which means Georgia Power. Has a
I
little
didn't know
something,
that.
has a
They
little
got the
hand in
money.
it.
I appreciate you raising awareness though about
Yeah.
water safety because it has.
Absolutely.
It's not just
claimed a
water
lot of
safety. I think that the lake needs to be excavated. They need to really clean it. They need to survey it.
Yeah.
Find the areas that are the most dangerous.
Yes.
Add Kyle markers.
Got it.
I've named them.
Kyle Walkers.
Kyle markers in
Got
those
it.
spots so that you can see them, like buoys
Yeah.
that have his name.
Yeah.
Kyle buoys in the dangerous areas.
Got
There's
it.
trees, there's
Yeah.
buildings.
There's
Got it.
trees, buildings, a racetrack,
Yeah.
a church.
Under.
Yeah.
Underneath the lake.
Right.
So
Right.
that naturally will change the undercurrent.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So when people are sailing and just having a good time on top, they don't
Yeah.
realize what's bubbling under
Happening,
bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention the spirits and the
Well.
loss of Oscarville.
Well, then there's that.
And then there's that. That's a
Then
whole
there's that.
nother
A whole other
podcast.
story.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
we
you
really
for
appreciate
having me,
you.
guys.
It has been great to have you here on All Right, So Boom.
All right, so boom, let's get it.
I'm Nzinga Imani. I'm here with Ray Holiday, Janae Bolton.
It's
and
been a time.
this has been All Right, So Boom. You can check us out on Bossip.com.